Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. So for today, I decided to have a quick session, maybe not that quick lah, because I need to discuss a few things. And if I'm not mistaken, this group, unfortunately, we haven't have chance to meet yet, at least with this session, because it's either public holidays or sometimes I'm not around because of I have to do something else. But I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all. Walaupun ni dah week berapa ni, week 4, week 5. Anyway, I hope you've watched all the videos I shared. As I mentioned, for this semester, so far what we've done, we have 2 separate playlists. Okay, the first playlist was a compilation from previous semester. Okay, that playlist have a complete set from the very first topic until the last ataupun the final topic. Okay, you have the opportunity to watch all videos for that. The one dah complete lah from first topic until the last one. Even yang kita belum go through lagi, you can watch it in that playlist. And on top of that, okay, I've created another playlist specifically for this semester. I have 3 groups, okay, I, G, and F, okay, including your group lah, group F kan. So I've compiled another playlist whereby because for the other 2 groups, I managed to have few sessions already. Okay, I managed to have few sessions, and mostly we've done some tutorials. Okay, tutorials. So for today, we're gonna have another tutorial with you guys this time around for the topic of pro-forma financial statements. Okay, so pro-forma financial statements still under the topic of financial statement. Sorry, the cash flow and financial planning. So this is actually topic number 3. Yeah. So the first topic is from video, topic number 2 also from videos. And I have some sessions with the other groups for financial ratios. I shared already in the new playlist, okay, to differentiate between the playlists. You can see from the name of the videos, ataupun the name of the playlist itself. Okay, so share kejap lah. Okay, so this is a playlist. The one I shared earlier, much earlier, was this one. This playlist, the name is PFM3023 Financial Management. Yeah, that playlist, like I said, this is from previous semester, and it is a compilation from the first until the final topic. Okay, for this semester, I put A211 there. Okay, on the very top, yeah, playlist number 1. Okay, playlist number 1. Okay, so I labeled some groups juga kat sini. Okay, but for this week, okay, I don't have any class with the other 2 groups, just with you guys. So therefore, I would put, let's say for today, PFM3023 exercise on pro-forma financial statements without the group. Ataupun I letak all groups together lah, walaupun sebenarnya I just do with you guys, but it meant for all of them. Okay, feel free to browse any of these videos because some of the topic walaupun nampak macam sama kan, summary of topic 2, exercise on cash budget, nampak macam sama, the content might be different. Okay, might be different because I might use different examples contohnya. Okay, so feel free to browse any of these videos. So best if you can subscribe kadang-kadang, because macam you guys kan, you have 1 week once punya session. So I can share only one link dalam my guru tu, yang dekat apa, web conferencing tu kan. But if you just subscribe to the channel ni, you can access to all of the videos yang public lah. Most of them I put it in public. Okay, so going back to the topic yang kita nak discuss today. I hope you watched already the video for cash flow and financial planning. Okay, last week punya video. Okay, yeah, last week punya video. That was from previous semester. Consists of both ataupun all 3 kat sini. We have cash flow, we have cash budgets, and we have the third one, pro-forma. So for previous week ataupun last week, in the other 2 groups, I've discussed the cash budget, how to prepare the cash budget. So hopefully you dah tengok lah video tu. going back to this one ni, please watch this exercise on cash budget dengan ada dua group ni, I and you guys I shared G dengan F ni. Okay, why? Because as you all know, for your group assignment, we focus on topic number 2, the financial ratio analysis. Okay, your midterm. Okay, I just received this information for your midterm exam. Midterm test, it will cover the topic of cash budget. Okay. Please watch the video as I said, and also the pro-forma financial statements, the one that we will discuss today. Okay, so without further ado, let's go straight to the exercise. Ataupun ya, the tutorial. Okay, any question before we move forward? Boleh ke?
No.
For this week, there's supposed to be another video. So again, please check the link of the playlist tu untuk ya, apa patutnya this week. Bear with me 1 second.
Technologies allow.
Okay, jap. Can share je kot. So for this week, it's supposed to be this video. Okay, so this one later you can watch. Okay, there's some apa tutorial juga for pro-forma, but there's another topic, new topic, which is the cash cycle. So cash cycle tu nanti you watch later lah. Okay, in the video I shared dekat chat box. Okay, but for now ataupun for today, we are going to discuss okay, I've shared this also in your dalam your dalam my guru lah, in my guru. Okay, 2 additional questions similar like last week punya topic cash budget. I shared 2 new questions for cash budget. So please watch the additional videos. Okay, especially the exercises. So for today, because this is another topic that will be covered in your midterm. Okay, beside the cash budget, we have the pro-forma. Okay, so this is another question. So you will not see this exercise in previous semesters punya video yang I share tadi. Okay, this is new. This is just for you guys. Okay, I have 2 questions to discuss today. Right? So let's look at the question. So again, I've shared this question dalam my guru. You can download it later. So the questions usually will look something like this. Okay, dia bagi information lah. You work as an assistant to financial manager of a company. They give you the current revenue. Okay, sometimes they use the word revenue, sometimes they use the word sales. Yeah. Okay, with the revenue of 4 million, 4.52 million. Then they plan to increase the revenue by 60%. So this is all information yang important. All right, and the firm has fully utilized its capacity. Okay, this is another information yang I can discuss kejap lagi. And then they give you the present one. Okay, the current balance sheet of the year. Okay, so note the current one is 2015 and the thousands here. Okay, so they have all the information. This is all the assets and this is all the liabilities and equities, or usually sometimes also known as claims. Right? And then they give you additional information. Okay, they give you additional information, okay, in terms of the net earnings ataupun the net profits for the year, the dividends, and these are the things that you need to prepare. You need to construct the pro forma of the balance sheet for 2016. Okay, note the current one, 2015 kan. So you are expected to prepare a pro forma balance sheet for 2016. Okay. So this is what we call as planning ataupun forecasting. We are preparing something that yet to happen. Okay. And second one, they ask you to compute the additional funds needed. So when we construct pro forma balance sheet, we obviously will find this additional funds needed, or in short, sometimes we call them AFM. Okay, additional funds needed. Okay, so how to prepare the pro forma balance sheets? Okay, I usually will use this setting. Put the question on the left, and I'm gonna prepare the documents on the right like this. Okay, again, supposed to be a video explaining about the process in the previous video, but for today, I'm just going to show you how to prepare for a new question. This is new, guys. So when you see a question, this is how you need to do, you should do in order to tackle the questions and how to attempt to answer the question. Right. Okay, this is pro forma kan. So first thing first, you need to know, okay, when we try to answer pro forma question like this, pro forma balance sheet, pro forma financial statements, because this concept ataupun this method is known as the percent. Okay. The percent sales method. Okay, the percent of sales method. So what does it mean by percent of sales method? We need to estimate, okay, the changes, because when we do an estimation, okay, for this particular balance sheet, contohnya, from 2015 to 2016, we're going to estimate and we're going to assume that all the items, ataupun most of the items will change. Okay, but how to change it? Okay, this is why we call them using the method of percent of sales method. Meaning we're gonna base our assumptions based on the changes, okay, changes of their sales ataupun their revenue. So that's why the first item that you need to know is the percentage of changes. Okay, so in the information above, they mention straight away, they expect the revenue to increase by 60%, and that will be our basis. Okay, 60%. Okay, so what we're gonna do afterwards, we're gonna base the changes to 60%. Okay, to most of the items. Okay, but not all. I state most of the items will increase by 60%, except for a few. Okay, so this is very important. Number one, you need to know the percent. Okay, if you base on different percentage, all your items ataupun most of your items will be wrong, and obviously you will miss a lot of marks kat situ because of this 60%. Okay, so that's very important. Let me check. Soalan the other question ni pun sama. They plan to increase the revenue by 40%. So for this question, second one, they want to increase by 40%. Okay, but let me enlighten you. Not every time the question will give you in percentage basis like this. Okay, some question might give you something like this. Contohnya, dia kata current revenue, macam ni current revenue 4.52 kan. Dia kata current revenue is 1 million, katakan. Okay, just for the sake of easier calculation, current revenue equals to 1 million. Okay, and they are expected to increase the revenue to, I don't know, 2.5 million. Banyak sangat 2.5, tapi high easier calculation 1.8 million. Okay, so they don't give you percentage. They just give you 2 years of sales. Current revenue 1 million, then expected revenue 1.8 million. Okay, remember our first information that we need to know is the percentage. So if they give you in values macam ni, okay, you need to find the percentage yourself. Okay, so to find the percentage, if they give you 2 years of revenues like this, okay, you need to calculate simple calculation, mathematical calculation, some simple equation. But you can use this simple formula. Okay, new revenue ataupun new sales minus the old ataupun the current revenue. Okay, and you divide with the old revenue. Okay, so this is expected new. Expectation is this is new. This is old. Okay, current is old. So if this is the case, okay, you can see it's 1.8 million minus 1 million divided by 10. So you get 0.8, which is equivalent to 80%. Okay, so you need to know this percentage, 80%. Okay, so this is just the first step to know the changes, the percent of changes. Okay, or if you calculated this wrongly, this part yang kalau dibagi 2 years ni, you calculate salah and you get a wrong percentage as I said, your pro forma yang you constructed later will be wrong. Okay, because majority of your items depends on this value. So therefore, please get this correct. Okay, you'll be lucky kalau dia bagi macam ni lah, dia bagi you straight away. Okay, so most of you akan dapat betul lah ni 60%. But yeah, be careful if they give you 2 years of revenues ataupun 2 years of sales. Okay, whereby you have to find your own. Anyway, we're going back to this question. So hopefully you clear. First step to identify. You just identify je dulu what would be the values. Yeah. Sampai kita boleh mana? Okay, so we're going back to this question. So, when you want to prepare any statements, okay, kalau kita tengok dalam previous video pun yang boleh tahu, make sure you have the correct title. Okay, you need to put a title to the statement. Okay, for example, this company is Black Gold kan. So, tulislah nama company tu dekat atas, Black Gold Holdings. Okay, and then the name of the statement. Don't put blank balance sheet lah because you are preparing pro forma balance sheet yang kat bawah ni kan. So tulislah. Asset 31st December. Just tulis asset 2016 lah. 16. Why the pen not giving me? Put the thousands here. Okay, something like that. So you can add a line nanti lah. Okay, so make yourself accustomed ataupun make yourself habit untuk write the title of the statements. Okay, so we know already we need to increase most of our items by 60%. So how to prepare the statement? Usually I will go according to the sections of the balance sheet. Okay, according to the sections. Okay, in the previous videos, you can watch videos yang explain about the items ataupun the categories of the balance sheet. Okay, untuk balance sheet ni dia tak categorizekan ya. But I can categorizekan for you. For the assets, we have two parts kan. We have two types of assets. So we have from cash until inventory. Okay, this is our current assets. Okay, plants and equipment, this is our fixed assets. And for this part on the right hand side, accruals, tax creditors, okay, sampai notes payable, all of these items. This is our current liabilities. And then we have bond, which is long-term liabilities. Then we have these two. This is our equity. Okay, so that's the parts or the sections of our balance sheet. So when we want to prepare a pro forma of it, I always suggest to go through one by one in terms of the categories. Okay, we're going to start with the easiest one, the current assets. Okay, the current assets number one. So rule for current assets when we want to prepare for the balance sheet. The rule is you need to increase every single items in current assets. Okay, every single items, semua. All of these items under current assets punya category, all of this, you will increase the value by the percentage. Okay, by the percentage. Give me 1 second and I'll be calculator. Okay, so all items you need to increase by 60% in this question. So what you need to do, okay, just copy. Items will be identical with the question. You just copy balik. So we're going to start with cash. Cash. Okay, and in the original question, it's 100,000. Okay, so we will increase by 60%. So it will be 160,000. Okay, 160,000. Okay, remember the 1,000 is here in the title already. So I just put 160 lah. So this 160 represents, ataupun this 1,000 represent the overall values of the items. Next, we have prepaid expenses. The prepaid expenses, original 180,000, increased by 60%. So it's 288. Okay, 288,000. Next, we have, yang lain dengar tak? My voice.
Dengar.
Ah, dengar.
Dengar.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks. So the next one is account receivable. So account receivable, original 320, we increased by 60%, so it's 512. 512. Then we have marketable securities. 340. 340, we increased by 60%. It's 544. And lastly, inventory. Inventory is 680. Increased by 60%, so it's 1088. 1088. Okay, so that's the items under the current assets. It's very straightforward. Don't have any exclusions, any rules. You just increase every single items under current assets by the percentage. So that's why I said earlier tadi, you need to ensure you get this percentage correct. Okay, macam kalau dalam question yang ni dengan yang this one, this is very straightforward because it's already given to you. The only thing, if they give you different ataupun they give you 2 years of revenues, whereby you need to find your own increment percentage tu. So you need to be careful on that. Simple simple equation I shared tadi. So you just use that one. New minus old divided by old. Then you get the increment of percentage. Then you use that percentage. Similar process. Sama je. You increase by that percentage. Now, moving on to the second category, which is the fixed assets. Okay, so fixed asset ni is not straightforward. Okay, it's not that straightforward as compared to current. Okay, technically we still need to increase the fixed asset. Okay, so dalam ni dia bagi satu, then you increase this one lah. Sometimes they might have more than one. Okay, just bear with me. Ni pun sama untuk soalan ni tak apa. Just be careful. Some might have more than one. Okay, some might have more than one. Anyway, the rule that you need to observe when we want to estimate fixed asset, you need to refer to the information. Okay, what kind of information? Kat atas ni. I underline tadi currently the firm has fully utilized its capacity. So when we talk about fixed assets, we are going to look at the fixed asset yang related to their operations. Macam ni lah, plant and equipments, machineries and whatnot. Semua tu melibatkan their operations. And when they say that their operations ataupun their fixed assets are fully utilized macam ni, meaning their current plant and equipments ni dah maximize lah. Dia dah fully maximize dia punya capacity. Maknanya production dia tak boleh increase anymore. Okay, so how to support the 60% increase in sales kalau dia tak boleh increase their capacity kan? Because dia dah fully utilized. And if this is the case, macam dia use the terms fully utilize, maximize their capacity, we will increase the fixed assets. Okay, how much? By 60% as well. Okay, so I recap for fixed assets, we are going to increase by the same percentage. However, it depends whether it's fully utilized the capacity or not. Okay, so dia ada terms and condition kat sini. Okay, tengok terms yang ni. Dia dah fully utilized or not. Every question will have this. It's either fully utilized ataupun not fully utilized. So kalau fully utilized, as I said, increase. Okay, increase the fixed assets by the same percentage. However, if it's not, okay, kalau tak, if it's not fully utilized, you have to keep the value at the same value lah, ataupun you keep it constant. Okay, so maknanya kalau lah ditulis not fully utilized, we're going to assume that the plant and equipment will remain the same. So we will not increase this. Kalau not fully utilized, sekejap soalan ni. So sama lah macam ni pun. Soalan yang satu lagi ni, currently the firm operating at full capacity. Okay. So kalau full capacity ataupun this time tadi dia guna apa? Utilize, fully utilize. Both question, you need to increase the fixed assets. So for P&E, plant and equipment, you have to increase it by the same percentage. So 1.6 ataupun 1.6 million tu sebenarnya. Increase by 60%. So you're going to have 2560. So 560. So technically this is 2.56 million because we have this 1,000 on top here. So that's your assets. On the left hand side, kita dah calculate everything. So I recap for the asset sides, we have current and fixed. For current assets, we're going to increase every single items by the percentage. For fixed asset, we will increase it if, okay, with the condition, if it's fully utilized ataupun they have maximized their capacity. Okay, if it's fully utilized, you will increase by the same percentage. But if it's not fully utilized, you're going to keep it constant. So you akan copy balik 1006 kat sini. If it not fully utilized. Okay, I recap if it's not fully utilized, then you're going to keep the value constant, unchanged, tak berubah kalau not fully utilized. But for this case, Black Gold Holdings, they fully utilized, so therefore we increase it to 2560. So once you've done this, okay, I'm gonna put space kat bawah ni sikit. Gonna total it sama macam dalam question. So untuk pro-forma, you don't have to memorize the items. Okay, you just copy balik the format and the items from the question because the question will give you the current one. We are preparing for the for the future kan. So the items will remain the same. So boleh totalkan ni. So we have here 5152 So double check kalau salah kira 5152. So it's about 5.15 million. Okay, 5152 ni. So you can see the increment from 3220 to 5152. So this is the estimates that we're going to do based on the company's planning to increase their revenue by 60%. So what does it mean here? Okay, macam mana dia nak from 3.22 million to 5.152 million. So what they need to do basically, they need to invest. Okay, in order to have 60% increment next year, they need to invest. The difference lah, 5152 minus katakanlah 3220. So it's about 1.9 million. So they need to invest 1.9 million in order to support the company's plan to increase their revenue by 60% next year. So the next question is, if they need 1.9 million something, okay, for the investment, where they should get the money from? Okay, kat mana nak dapat duit 1.9 million? So that's why on the right hand side, the claims, so ataupun the liabilities and equity, this would be the sources. Okay, this would be the sources of where they can get their money from. Okay, so there are two sources basically, internal and external. Okay, internal and external. There are some items on the right here are considered internal sources, and some of them are considered external sources. Okay, so for the additional fund needed, yang number 2 ni, this is basically funds from external. Okay, funds from external. You need the money from external parties. It can be loans, it can be bank loans ataupun they issue some financial instruments and get investors joining in. So all of those are from outside. So next, once you've done the left-hand side, the assets, we move on to the claim side, okay, to the liabilities and equity. So kat kanan ni, we have 3 items tadi. We have current liabilities, long-term liabilities, and also equity. So the third one you need to do is current liabilities. Okay, current liabilities. For current liabilities, it's quite similar like current assets, similar like current assets. But with an exception. Okay, current liability ni salah line ni. Current liability ni sepatutnya sampai ni, sampai last ni, sampai notes payable. Anyway, we're gonna increase every items under current liabilities with the exception. Ni ada exception kalau fixed asset tadi with the condition kan. Condition dia kalau fully utilized. But for current liabilities, we have some exception. What exception? There's one item in current liabilities will remain constant regardless. Dia tak ada kena-mengena, dia tak ada condition. We just keep ataupun we just don't increase the value. And the item is notes payable. So this notes payable, I letak star kat sini. This notes payable will remain the same. Okay, this will remain the same. Regardless what happen, kita tak akan increasekan notes payable. Remember I said tadi, we have internal and external sources. Okay, notes payable are considered as external sources. So therefore, external sources, we akan keep it constant. Okay, we're going to keep it constant, unchanged. So next we move on je lah. Kita copy balik. We have accruals. Okay, accruals. 36, so increase by how much? By 60%. Sama macam tadi. 36 increased by 60%. We have 22.5. Okay. Point here. Okay, and then we have trade creditors. So trade creditors 54 increased by 60%, 86.4. And then we have accrued wages. Sorry, tax equivalent. 3 tax equals. Tax equals 161. 161, 60%, 257.6. Okay, 0.6. And then we have accrued wages. Wages 128. 128, 60%. Betul kan? Sekejap And to 8 times 6. Yang belah kanan ni banyak point pula 204.8. Okay. And notes payable. Even though I said it remain constant, don't forget to write. You need to still record this notes payable. Notes payable. 732. So you just copy balik lah 732. So that's your current liabilities. Okay, that's your current liabilities. So we have 3 so far. So for current liabilities, I recap the rule. You need to increase everything except notes payable. Except with the exception of notes payable. So notes payable will remain the same. You just copy back from the question. Okay. Next, item number 4 is long-term liabilities. Okay, here we have only one, which is bond. Okay, so for long-term liabilities, the bond. Okay, very simple. Rule for long-term liabilities, we will keep the value the same. We don't increase it. Okay, long-term liabilities, we're going to keep it constant. So you just copy balik lah. Bond is 819. Just copy from the question. Okay, bond is the same. And finally, the last section in the balance sheet is the equity. Okay, for equity, right? For equity, it will be accrual 257,600. Check again, Ya, betul juga kan. 36. 6 times 1.6. Yeah, 57.6. Okay, thank you. 57.6. Okay, thank you very much. Yang lain betul Right. So for equity, you might have more than one. Obviously, selalunya more than one equity. Okay, in this question we have 2 common shares dengan retained earning. Just kita tengok kat sini. Pun sama. We have 2 juga kat sini. Anyway, regardless how many lah For equity, similar rule macam bond, macam long term. We're going to keep it constant. Okay, we keep it constant except retained earnings. Okay, except retained earning. Retained earning will increase. Okay, so banyak juga nak kena ingat tadi So for equity, I recap. You will keep it constant for all the items except retained earnings. So retained earnings yang last ni, this will change. Okay, this will change. However, I just nak beritahu, for retained earning, the values is not depends on the percentage. We have to calculate the retained earning ourselves. So we have a formula for this. So untuk pro-forma ni yang sebenarnya the most difficult part is actually to calculate the retained earnings. It's not that difficult but it's slightly taking longer steps in order to calculate the retained earnings. It's not as simple as just multiply the increment, then get the new values. No. Untuk returnings, we need to prepare a set of formula ataupun equation in order to get the new one. But anyway, before we move on to our RE ataupun returning, just copy balik common shell. Common shell kat sini saya letak 910. Okay, just copy balik. Okay, so we left with retain earning. Okay, so for retain earning, okay, as I said, it's not as simple as 380 and then kita multiply by 1.6 to get the value, no. Okay, it's not as simple as that. Because retain earning ni kita kena calculate by ourselves. So that's why kalau you perasan, we have other information yang kita tak guna lagi. So far we just use the top information in terms of the percentage, in terms of the utilization of capacity. Okay, but we haven't used this information yet. The net earnings, the dividend. Okay, so this is where it's crucial to get the retained earnings information. So there are a few scenarios, okay, for the retained earnings. Untuk soalan ni, they give you the net earnings ataupun the net profits. This is net profit and net earnings is basically net profit. NP, I don't know why pen's not working so well today. So this is the net profit of the company, which is 226,000. We have the sales value earlier, 4520 ataupun 4.52 million. We can estimate the new revenue as well. We just multiply lah macam kita buat for cash and everything ni. We just increase 4.52 million by 60% to get a new revenues ataupun new sales. And they give you also dividend, 180,800. So why this important? This information important because to find new returning, okay, I tulis formula kat sini lah. To find new returning, okay, new returning maknanya returning yang kita akan tulis kat sini. Sekejap lagi Okay, to find new returning is basically to have all return earning, okay, plus with the return earning for dalam case ni saya tulis kat sini apa lah in expected. Okay, you need to know return earning ni dia punya nature is accumulated. Okay, they keep on increasing every year. So when you see return earning for 2015 is 380 kan. So when we talk about the new return earning that we're going to put here is actually accumulation from 380 plus the additional return earning. Okay, so this RE yang kat belakang ni expected ataupun additional ni ADD is part yang kita kena calculate ni. We need to calculate this part to add with the old one 380 to get the new return earning. So to find the additional return earning, okay, saya letak kat bawah ni. Additional return earning in order to find the additional return earning, you need to know this formula. It is based on new sales. Saya letak sales 1 kat sini Sales 1. New sales multiply with net profit margin, NPM. So this you've learned this in ratio, net profit margin. And you multiply with 1 minus dividend payout ratio. Okay, this dividend payout ratio also is part of the formula dalam financial ratio earlier in topic number 2. So you need to use this equation in order to get additional RE, additional return earning. And together with the old one, you add, then you're going to put it here. So let's try do this together. So basically, we try to solve the one at the back first, the return earning additional. So how to solve it? First, we need to know the new sales. Okay, originally the sales, kalau you tengok from the question, the current revenue ataupun the current sale is 4.52 million. Okay, again, I nak recap balik betul-betul see the way they use the figures untuk the one yang dalam box yang kita buat tadi ni, we use the decimals. Okay, but in the information they use full values. Okay, so for you guys, you just make sure you know your values, make it consistent. Okay, so since we are using the decimals tadi the thousands kat atas ni, make sure when we want to calculate the revenues, the retained earnings and whatnot, you're going to make it consistent, or else nanti the way you record will be wrong. So sales, I letak sini sales one so what does it mean sales one? This is based on new sales. Okay, we need to have new sales. So our new sales is based on the original 4520. So this is the current one, but they will increase by 60%. So I'm going to put that. Okay, so this would be our new sales 4520. Okay, and increase by 60%. So I put 1.6 ni sebab they increase by 60%. Okay, ni sales one Sales one. So berapa ni? 4520 increase by 60%. So it's 7232. Okay, so this is our new sales one. So we have this one already we have this part. Next is to find net profit margin. Okay, kalau you tak ingat, again, you can refer to topic of financial ratios For net profit margin, the formula for net profit margin is net profits divided by sales. Okay, net profit divided by sales. Okay, some question might give you net profit margin straight away. Okay, some question. Kalau dia bagi you straight away, you use straight away lah the net profit margin. Okay, but for this question, they don't give you anything. So you kena calculate sendiri using the ratio. Soalan yang the next one pun sama. But anyway, kalau dia bagi straight away, dia kata kat sini, the net profit margin for the company is expected to be 5%. Then you use 5% lah. But for this question, they don't give you straight. So therefore, you need to calculate yourself. Okay. Now, to make it clear to you, when we do ratios, we need to make sure that the year that we use must be the same year. Okay, so for this question, dia bagi tahu net earnings for the year and the current dividend paid is so and so ringgit. This represent current, kan, 2015. So for the year 2015, dividend current pun for 2015. So when we use the formula, sebab sales ada dua nanti so you don't get confused. So you have the original sales and we have the increment values of sales. So which sales to use? Remember, these values are for the current year. So therefore, the sales pun kita guna sales yang baru, sales yang original. Okay. The sales yang baru kita guna hanya based on this estimation ni, formula yang depan ni je. But the rest yang kat belakang ni, we're going to use sales for the previous year ataupun the current year. So the net profit was 226,000. And the sales original is 4520. So berapa ni? 226 divided by 4520 times 100 to make it percentage. Okay, it's 5%. So it's 5%. Okay, the net profit margin is 5%. So this is the second part of our additional retained earnings formula. So we left with the last part, 1 minus DPR. So we need to find our DPR, dividend payout ratio. So again, you can find this formula in the previous video in topic number 2, but I'm going to recap it here for dividend payout ratio. So to find dividend payout ratio, the formula is dividend divided by net profit. Okay, so both of the information is here. Okay, so dividend is 180.8. Okay, 180.8, and the net profit for the year was 226. Okay, 226. Six. So it's 80%. Okay, the dividend payout ratio is 80%. So you have all the information now. Okay, you have all the information. You have the new sales, you have the net profit margin, and you have the dividend payout ratio. Now we can find the additional return earning. Okay, we can find the additional return earning now, which is 7232 times net profit margin is 5%, 0.05. And our dividend payout ratio is 80%. So we need to take 1 minus 80%. So what is this? 7232 times 5% times 80%. So you have here 72.32. 72.32. Okay, this one, this additional ni, we are doing just for this kat sini je. So I recap balik, try to calculate, tengok salah. Salah, times 5% times 2%. Okay, so once you have this additional, so the new return earning would be original dia 380 kan? So 380 plus 72.32. 452.32. 452.2. And this, you're going to put it here. Okay, so 452.32. Any? Okay, you're going to transfer that into our return earning. Okay, so now help me to calculate the whole thing. Boleh tak? Add everything ni. Dapat tak? It's supposed to be the same kan? The left and the right should be the same. Okay, it's supposed to be 5152 kat sini. Double check for me dapat tak? When you total up everything, it's 5152. Anybody? Dapat tak? 5152. 35, apa tadi? Chat dia tadi ya. Oh, kat sini. 3519.72. Ada jawapan lain? 519. Saya tulis dulu kat sini. 3519.72 eh. Okay, 3 spend. Sekejap the whiteboard ni. Give me 1 second whiteboard ni reloading. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay, 3519.72. Okay, good. Okay, you are not wrong actually. So the total you get here when you add everything, it's 3519.172 kan? Okay, okay. So all of these 3519, this is all comes from internal. Okay, this is all from internal sources. So what does it mean? You have a difference, can? You have a difference between the total and the internal. So if you take the one that you need to find is called EFN. On salah. Yeah. Macam mana setting yang buat tadi? Okay, sorry about that. Apa tadi? EFN. Additional funds needed. This is the one that you need to find. To find additional funds needed, you need to take the new total 5152 tadi, and you minus with the one that you found. You tolong ni calculated tadi 3519.72 kan? 3519.72. So the difference here which is 1632.28. Okay, so this is a value that you need to borrow. Okay, and you're gonna put that here. 1632.28. And this is your AFN, additional funds needed. Okay, so memang you takkan dapat exactly 5152. I saja je suruh you calculate earlier. And that value, the difference between the amount that we intend to increase, 5152, and the amount that you've helped me to calculate just now, 3519.72, this is from internal. This come from internal. Internal. So this 1632 ni, this is from external. Okay, from external. So meaning they need to borrow lah. Okay, all of this 3519 ni, this is come from inside, from internal of the company. So they can increase the accruals. How to increase the accruals? Remember tadi original accruals dia. Tadi originally 36,000 accruals. You know accruals kan? Accruals ni adalah expenses that haven't been paid yet. Okay, you borrowed from your suppliers, for example, ataupun you buy from your suppliers, but you haven't paid for it yet. Sama macam trade credit juga lah. Okay, so how to increase this? Simply by delaying payments. You tak bayar, then they will increase. So this is from internal. You don't have to borrow pun. So how to increase? You just delay your payments. So the amount tu you boleh dapat from internal. Okay, but from notes payable, that's why notes payable tadi dia remain constant, because notes payable is short-term bank loans. You need, in order to increase the value, you need to borrow from the bank. Right? Similarly, bonds. Yeah. Okay, for long term, usually we're gonna get it from outside. So bond ni pun sama. You need to issue bond to the public. So you need to get the money from outside. So that's why we remain it constant. Except for retained earning. Retained earning comes from internal juga. Sebab retained earning comes from your profits. Okay. Just to explain how retained earning works. Okay. It comes from net profits. So remember this relationship. You have net profit on top here. Okay. Net profits. As a company, when you get net profits, what you do next? You pay dividend. Okay, you're gonna pay dividend to your shareholders. Okay, so what happened to the rest of the money? Okay, the rest of the money, they will put it in the retained earning. So that's why the relationship between net profit, dividend, and retained earning can be seen in the formula ni, especially additionally. You have sales, okay, times net profit margin. Sales times net profit margin basically to find the net profit. We want to find the new net profit. We estimate using the net profit margin. So net profit margin ni we multiply dengan sales, kita dapat net profit for the following year. So that's why the net profit margin kita assume will remain constant, tetapi we use the new sales. So then we get the net profit. And for the second part is 1 minus DPR kan. DPR is dividend payout ratio. Okay, so the dividend payout ratio is this part. How much is the dividend? So that's why I katakanlah if your net profit is 1 million, if your profit is 1 million ringgit and you pay dividend 80%, 0.8, 80%. So you know automatically the retained earning will be 20%. Okay, so kalau 1 million meaning the dividend will be 0.8 million. Okay, so what happened to the retained earning? So the balance lah, 20% or 0.2 million. So that's why this value yang kita cari 1 minus DPR, we deduct from net profit minus dividend, get retained earnings. So that's why the whole formula here is to find the additional retained earnings. So this value add with the original retained earning, then we put it under retained earning here. And that's it. That's our statement. Your statement, your final statement will look like this. This is to answer this part. To answer yang number 1 tu 2A1 ni, construct a pro-forma. This is the complete pro-forma. Okay, this is your completed pro-forma. The new total, ni pun total juga lah. 152 on both sides with all the relevant information. So all of this will give you 13 marks. And then compute the additional funds needed. Kita dah letak kat sini 1632 tapi how we get this? Put it down here tadi. So this is your computation for additional funds needed. 5152 minus 3519.72 get 1632.28. Okay, so this is for additional 2 marks. So show all these workings juga lah when you prepare the balance sheet. show all of these works. Okay, in order to get the AFN. Okay, so sama juga lah kalau soalan macam ni, you're gonna have the same process. Okay, nanti you try untuk soalan yang the second additional, pro-forma additional number 2 ni, yang rainbow holdings ni, you can try on your own later. Okay, the expectation is the same. They ask you to prepare pro-forma statements and also compute the AFN, additional funds needed juga. Okay, so for this question, it's quite similar like the one we've done for black gold holdings, sorry. Right, one final twist. Okay, one final twist. Untuk soalan, dua-dua soalan ni tak ada but there's a possibility of the question to put another twist. Okay, simple twist sebenarnya. Okay, they may put another information. Okay, what kind of information? Dia tambah satu lagi information. Dia kata, all funds required will be absorbed. Okay, will be absorbed by itu macam-macam lah. Okay, contohnya tulis kat sini. Mana yang tulis kat sini? Sebab dia kat soalan selalunya. Dia katakanlah all AFN will be absorbed. Will be absorbed and met by underline. Contohnya. So, by what? Selalunya, they might use any of the ones yang unchanged. Remember, we have items under claims yang remain constant. Remember, kita kat dalam ni kita ada notes payable, we have bond, we have common shares. Ya, letak je star 3 kat sini. All of these are constant. All three items remain constant tadi. Okay, one from current liabilities, one from long-term liabilities, and one from equity. So, the question might add one more information. Dia kata, all additional funds required will be absorbed and met by, let's say, dia kata, notes payable. Okay. I baca balik all additional funds needed will be absorbed and met by notes payable. So, what you need to do next? Kalau dia ada information ni, untuk soalan ni tak ada. Tapi, there might be some question with this information. So, if that's the case, kalau lah ada information tu dalam soalan, what you need to do next. Okay, so basically the steps remain constant. So this is your original answer. Okay, but if you have this information ataupun this statement in your question, you need to make some adjustments. What kind of adjustment? Remember dia kata all AFN. So AFN yang kita dapat tadi 1632 ni will no longer stand alone kat sini. We don't put it here. Because why? Because this value will be absorbed. Okay, will be absorbed, meaning we need to transfer this information. Depending on question lah, kalau macam cakap tadi, will be absorbed by notes payable. So therefore, we need to transfer this into notes payable. Remember, our notes payable original remain constant kan, 732. Tetapi because of the instruction of the company, the AFN will be absorbed by notes payable. So therefore, we're going to transfer this here. We will add. We're going to add 1632.28 ni in 732. So what does it mean? So 1632.28 add with 732. So dia dah absorb kan, dia kata 2364.28. So we're going to erase this. Okay, and we're going to add 2364.28. Okay, and AFN ni tak ada lah. There will be no longer AFN sebab it already been absorbed. Okay, kat bawah ni 5152 lah. Yang here still remain as 5152. Okay. Then baru consider your statements complete. Okay, note there's no AFN and the AFN still there, the value is still there, but we combine it with notes payable sebab soalan suruh dengan notes payable. Remember, it can be notes payable, it can be bond, it can be common shares. So kalau soalan kata all AFN will be absorbed and matched by bond, then kita add and transfer to bond lah, or common stock respectively, whichever. Depends on question. But I give you example tadi, will be absorbed by notes payable. So therefore, we transfer 1592 tadi. 1592 1632 ni, 0.28 into notes payable. And therefore, we don't have EFN at the bottom here. Okay. So step semua sama, still need to find EFN. The only thing is you transfer the EFN into notes payable without having a standalone EFN items at the bottom. So what happen kalau you tak buat? If they have this information, okay, you prepare as original yang kita tunjuk tadi. Okay, you might not get the full marks. Itu je sebab you don't follow the full instruction. Okay, you might get this EFN 2 marks ni sebab EFN ni sama. Okay, the only difference for this 13 marks lah, you might lose maybe 2 marks kat situ. So it's a waste lah sebab you dah buat semua correctly. Okay, so read the question carefully. Okay, look for this information kalau ada. If there's none, then we go back to original. So it will be original like this. Yeah. See. Okay, it will be like this. This is the original one. So kalau ikut soalan ni, this will be our answer. Just be careful if there's some information, as I said tadi lah, whereby the external funding needs to be absorbed by so and so. Just transfer je. Your function, bukan your function lah. Your task is basically to transfer the EFN into the respective values. Kalau mana-mana lah dia suruh. Again it can be notes payable, can be bond, can be common stocks, ataupun common shares. Sometimes it can be preferred juga. Kalau ada some information dia ada preferred stocks ataupun preferred shares, they might be that as well. So itu je final twist that you need to be careful. Okay, so I think that's about it for Pro-forma. Okay, later on nanti you can try this. Okay, so if you need anything in terms of what will be the answer for this, you can just let me know lah. Okay, so any question? Soalan tak? Okay, I recap the whole thing. First, need to get the percentage correctly. Second, follow the sequence. Okay, from current asset, go to fixed assets, go to current liabilities, long-term liabilities, and finally equity. Okay, long-term liabilities and equity mostly remain constant except for returning. So returning je lah step yang paling panjang, whereby you need to find the new returning based on the original plus with the additional returning. So to find the additional returning, you need to use the formula. Okay, and dalam formula equation tu, they have sub-formula lagi. You need to know the net profit margin and also dividend payout ratio, respectively. Okay. If you're lucky, the NPM and dividend payout ratio given to you, they just straight away give you the net profit margin is 5% and the DPR is 80%. Then it's much easier for you sebab you boleh use that in your equation straight away. However, sometimes you need to calculate on your own for net profit margin and dividend payout ratio. So these are the formulas for NPM and DPR respectively. And once you have all the information, find the additional returning like so, and add together with the old ataupun original returning to get the new returning. This value transfer dalam statement. And the difference between the total and also the changes, everything, you get the EFN. And this EFN is the amount that we want to find. Remember, EFN is coming from external sources. So therefore, this is a estimations. So as a company, if they plan to increase their revenues, you can see the implications. They increase by 60%, they need to invest by certain millions, dalam case ni from 3220 to 5152. And therefore, they need to find the solutions from internal and external. So from internal, dia dapat tadi berapa? 3519. So therefore they short of 1632. So they from now they can plan where they can get this money from. Okay, dia boleh plan lah nak pinjam dengan bank, they can go notes payable for short term basis, or they can issue bond for long term solutions. Ataupun dia nak increasekan dia punya shareholders by issuing new shares. Okay, so those are all the options that they have in order to meet this amount yang dikena cari in order to support their 60% increment of revenues. Okay, final say ada tak nak tanya apa-apa? Okay, as a recap, this question for pro-forma and also the cash budget from the previous session are important because that's for your midterm test. Okay, so do the exercise if necessary, watch the videos, replay the videos as many times as you like in order to you to fully understand the question, because the midterm tu kalau tak salah they set next month. I will let you know later in terms of the dates and also the timing. Kalau tak salah, tentatively they set at on the 1st December, hari apa? Weekend, is it? Tak juga I'm not sure. Nanti I'll let you know. Dia letak sini 1st on Wednesday. Ni juga dia buat Wednesday, the 1st of December. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, I will share this video in your link dalam dalam my guru punya web conferencing tu, and I will put this in the playlist as well. So just check out the videos in the playlist. Okay, this semester punya and also from the previous semester for all the videos. So thank you very much, and inshallah see you guys soon. Thank you.
Doctor.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Doctor.
All right.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Sama.